Alrighty. It's official. The 2024 Patron Member East Coast Meetup is in the works and planning phases. It is happening. All right. We actually pumped out just a real brief episode. So go back a couple episodes and we gave the information. Also, at any time, if you want to learn about the 2024 East Coast Patron Meetup, we did a video on it. You can head over to lawabidingbiker.com/2024 meetup. All one word. That's lawabidingbiker.com/2024 meetup. All the information, requirements, sign up, everything's over there along with the video is embedded on that page. It will leave you with no questions. And it is happening Saturday, June 8th, 2024 in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Headed up by patron member Russell Roberts. He is organizing it, putting it on. It's actually not a sanctioned, so to speak, event by us like we put on every year. We are riding their coattails this year. And so it is completely him organizing it, putting on. We're helping where we can, announcing it and all that. We will be there. But again, head over to that URL I gave you and get all the details. There is a deadline to sign up and all that. So you'll definitely want to get on that and figure out if you're eligible. And if you're not eligible, what you need to do to make yourself eligible, which is not hard to do. Because we'd love to see you there. And we anticipate it may be the largest law-abiding biker meet up and ride in history. Speaking of this, Lurch made a mention just a little bit ago. He saw Lou, studio dog, walking around, winking at him with the old brown eye.
Yes.
Lou is a Bichon. He's white, and he can get a little stank and a little brown dye in his hair around his anus.
This is always so dumb. That makes me laugh. I hope other people laugh too.
Well, he does. He's got an anus too. It's a miniature anus. Nonetheless, it's an anus. All right. Anyways, point being is Lurt said he needs a little cleanup. And I go, well, I have just the thing to do that. Because we've told you, dude wipes are awesome on human anuses.
That's true.
They're also just as good. Wet wipes, of course, dude wipe, wet wipes. They're also just as good on Bichon mini anuses.
Oh, good to know.
And so I often, I don't know if they're made for that. I don't know if it's even recommended. I couldn't find it in their literature.
I got to assume that if it's good on a human's butt, it'd be fine on a dog's butt.
But they would say,
not
the dog
tested on
people.
dogs.
Oh yeah, the dog people would be. It has to be a special aloe for dogs and Bichons, and you know what they would say, dude. And then they would try to sell you $50 dude wipes because they're made for dogs, so they can. He licks his butthole. I don't think it matters, honestly. And the nice thing is, so I do use dude wipes on Lou, the studio dog Louie, to clean him up, and it's more often than I'd like to admit. But it works, and it works well. And there is a overall benefit to doing that, aside from getting rid of the brown stain around his anus. You know what that is?
It smells like a breath mint.
It does, dude. He goes to give you a kiss after that, licking his anus. Smells like a breath mint, dude.
Oh, Lord.
Because dogs, we let our dogs kiss us now and then. And at some point, they've licked their anus. So there's no way to get around that. Might as well smell like a breath mint. So there you go. Dude wipes. Now you have another use for them, guys. And it's not a joke. I do use it for that. But better yet, they're great on humans, guys. And we've been pushing them for a long time. And we still actually just purchased a bunch more. We need some for the store. And we're doing the Dude Bomb spray. A little spritzer before you drop a bomb. And all over at lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. That is an affiliate link. So you click through, we get a small commission. No additional cost to you, lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. And I would highly recommend checking out the Dude Bomb spray. We don't go without that either. And that's at lawabidingbiker.com/dude-bombs. That's /dude-bombs. Those affiliate links will be found in the show notes as always, lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode number this is, guys. The Dude Wipes will put a little spring in your step. Why not walk around all day feeling fresh? There's just no reason not to, Lurch. All right. This is coming out soon before Christmas?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
I think I'm going to put this one next, to be honest with you.
Nice. So we've got a lot of stuff in the Law Abiding Biker store. Great present gift ideas for those people you care about in your life. This one could literally save another biker's life. So if you're going to get anything, this would be one of my top priorities, because there are a lot of bikers out there riding around unprepared for a medical emergency or going down with some injuries. And admittedly, Lurch, we were unprepared for many years. We had our Cruise Tools RTH3 roll travel kits with our multi-tools, our tire gauges, plugger kits, all available in our store. So, man, I'll tell you what, we were ready to rock and roll when it came to a mechanical breakdown. There's no way we're calling a tow truck. We'll frickin' rebuild an engine on the side of the road, okay, with our tool kits. But and it's ridiculous because we're first responders, and Lurch he's retired, but we've all been in it for so many years, that we were not prepared with a medical trauma kit.
Isn't it?
It's funny.
It's hard to believe, but yeah,
life comes at you fast, and I don't know why we just,
Young and stupid.
So we had been asked over the years, and we finally came out with one maybe earlier this year. We kind of vetted it basically, and we looked at some different ones, and we made a list of things we think need to be in it. And so we went through this whole process to get basically everything you need, but not anything more, because motorcycles have limited space. Like, what's realistic on a motorcycle? We're not going to be suturing people's limbs back on. And so we didn't need, a whole suture kit, things like that. Yeah. So
I don't think you can suture.
Well, you could try.
You could try. I think it's a little more involved.
I do carry paracord. That could work.
I just think there's a little more involved.
I don't know. I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, it must be true.
It must be true. My daughter told me that last night. I said, anytime you tell me that you saw, because that's what kids do these days. I'm getting off track.
Oh, that's okay. That's what we do.
That's what kids do these days. It drives me fucking nuts.
No fact checking whatsoever.
No.
I saw it. Must be true.
I said, when you ever tell me so, I go, where'd you learn that? And when you tell me the internet, it loses all validity. I told her this was a conversation before bed last night. I said, when you tell me that, sweetie, it loses all validity, because they believe it if they read it. And I said, what's your source? Or TikTok video. I'm like, I'm so tired of I saw it on TikTok. Okay, back to the first aid kit. All right, so I'm going to get way off on that, dude.
TikTok's for entertainment, not for news.
Can we talk more about suturing?
Yeah, let's go back to suturing. There's no needle and thread in this kit.
Okay. Anyways, my point being, we didn't want a bunch of shit you're not going to use.
Yeah.
But we wanted to keep it compact, but just the necessities. So we prepared it, guys, for you. And we finally came out with something we all agreed on, and something we were very happy with. And that's why we brought it finally to the Law Abiding Biker store. It's our first aid and trauma kit. It is in our store, very affordable price. We have a ton in stock. We ordered more. We're selling the bejesus out of them. And if you don't know what the bejesus is, it doesn't matter. It's a lot. All right. So we've given you no reason, guys, not to be prepared with a small and easily storable biker prepared first aid kit. Yep. Like I said, we thought it out to make sure it had all the necessities without overdoing it, to keep it small and compact. The kit comes with everything you need, such as a plethora of different size bandage, gauze, compression dressing, medical tape, latex gloves, whistle, scissors, rescue blanket, and more importantly, a military tourniquet that can save a life. We knew our kit had to have a tourniquet, guys. And if you can learn in like 5 minutes on a legitimate website and video, just go to a military one or something like that. But they're super simple to use, but they can, officers are all carrying them now. They really do save lives. And if you go down and you have a bleed that you can't stop, that tourniquet is going to be crucial. So it's in the kit. And all of these items are inside a very tightly packed tactical nylon MOLLE bag measuring 8x4x4. And best of all, as you know, our design kit is biker approved because it has our name right on the outside of the kit. Don't be fooled by copycats and cheap Amazon different stuff. It may not have all the same stuff. We vetted ours, so make sure you get it right from the law-abiding biker store. You'll know you're getting the one that we have organized and designed and approved. This is not something you should have with you at all times, but a must-have at all times. Get the Law-Abiding Biker First Aid and Trauma Kit right in the Law-Abiding Biker store. And hey, if you end up using it, hopefully you're alive. And if you are alive, send us a message and let us know. We'll tell a story about it. We'd love to hear your feedback or any feedback on the kits. Even if you just, maybe you stepped on a Lego and or stubbed your toe and you needed to use it because that's all you had. Let us know. We'd like to hear your story. There you go. Want to ride longer, Lurch?
Yes, I do.
Are you tired of a sore and achy ass?
No, because I have a butt
hanging
buffer.
out in alleys after hours, bro. Then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Another great Christmas gift. Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. All right, bikeaholics, here's the dealio. You all know it. You know it. That's right. 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN, bus, plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of 03D products. And we're adding more all the time. We're building out the store. Keep checking back, guys. Big things coming in 2024. If you don't see a 03D product in our store, but you know it exists, we can still get it for you. It just means we haven't had time to list it in our store. So get a hold of us, email us, we'll send you a custom invoice, and we will get it to you lickety-split. And if you don't know what lickety-split is, it's fucking fast. What? You had a delayed response on that one. Oh, there we go. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM.
Also known as the 99%.
There you go, guys. That's right. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. It's what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We have one question before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Mount up.
And let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
All right. Got an awesome episode for you guys. We hit recently 200,000 subscribers, but there's a lot more to it than that. We've got a voicemail that we're going to integrate into this from one longtime listener I know, because he's left voicemails in the past, and we appreciate his feedback. So it's going to be an interesting voicemail, and then we're going to capitalize on that because it brought up some great points that I've wanted to share with the audience for a long time, and we're going to do it more in depth because this is podcast and it's long form content. I have to keep things pretty succinct, more so on YouTube. But we'll get to that. It's going to be about 200,000 subscribers. Some of the trials, tribulations, be a really inside deep look at what it actually takes to run a business like this, and a YouTube channel for 11 years and everything, and the podcast for 11 years now. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and this is, and it's fine. We'll talk about it. I'm so appreciative of this message. So, but there's a lot of misconceptions by regular people, just because it's very public YouTube and podcasts, and people think they know what AdSense is all about. They think they know what this and that is about. And we're going to put a lot of those rumors to rest. And I think you're going to be like, oh, I think it's really going to open up some things to people if you have preconceived notions that we're, just fat and happy and everything's really easy and money just comes and we're just rolling. We got a room in the back and we're doing backstrokes in the money, dude. We got a whole vault of money, and that's why I'm working a full-time police job still, because I'm just fucking loaded. God, okay. Anyways, it's going to get good, guys, and probably a lot of stuff you've never heard in 11 years from us. I really wanted to take a deep dive into this. So we got a new for video alert you want to announce?
Absolutely. And I just felt like this went well with this topic. So let's announce it during this one. It's called My Advice After Being on YouTube for 11 Years. Feed the Beast, ? That link to that video will be in the show notes.
And that video is basically a very succinct version of what we're about to talk about. Right. And I'll open up even a little bit more. But definitely check the video out. I show a lot of stuff. I show our store. I show the studio a bit. Which at some point we're going to do a full studio tour. It's still on the list.
It's on the list.
God, I've just, people have wanted to see.
Would you retire already?
God, dude, tell me about it. Tell me, but that's something we're going to talk about. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that new free video, you want to announce this too, how we're doing our new documentary films and everything, aside from our old way of doing it?
Yeah, I mean, clean this up if I don't say it quite correctly, because you're the one that instituted the process. But in the past, if you were a top-level patron, you got access to all of our premium for purchase videos at no cost to you. The way you would go about that is email us, tell us you want it. We'd create an individual specialized discount code that you could then go in and go into the system that we use to host our videos and get that video. Well, now we've changed.
No, it still is that way for all videos except when we come out with new documentary films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's good. No.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So all your videos, all your tutorial videos, mechanical videos, anything at lawabidingbiker.com/buy videos. That page where all our tutorial videos are there. That's all the same procedures. This is just for doc film releases.
We will be uploading the docs into the back of your Patreon account. And if you are top tier, you'll be able to access it there. You won't have to email us.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very well. And so, yeah. Because Patreon allows us now, it's new. They allow us to upload full video files, and it's a little bit cumbersome right now. It takes a lot to serve videos to people.
Yeah.
And that infrastructure, that's why YouTube does it so well. And they're so good at their compression because they've done it for so long. You guys can't even imagine the infrastructure you need to host videos. But anyways, Patreon they're growing fast. That company is really booming and, really helping creators like me. That's why I latched on to them from the very beginning, but they're always adding new stuff. And so I did try it, and it definitely compresses it. But so does YouTube. They compress the shit out of stuff. So anyways, because we can do that, I can't do it with all our tutorial videos. It doesn't make sense right now. But from here on out, new docs came out. You had to email us and get a code. Now you basically have access in the back end of your Patreon account, like Lurch says, and because it'll know what level you are because you're signed into your account, and it's going to be locked if you're mid-level or below, but if you're top tier, it's going to be unlocked, and you don't need to email us anybody. We won't be sending any codes for doc films. You literally get in there. You're either a top tier or you're not, and if you're not, you can always bump your level up, and you can watch it as many times as you want back there. Here's what I also did, Lurch. I don't think most people care, but I do, because I make these films and I put so much blood, sweat, and tears, and I had like 300 hours on this new doc film.
And it shows, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But the YouTube compresses them. Gumroad compresses it when you're streaming it. Patreon, they have to compress these videos. And so there's artifacts. It's things a filmmaker, like I'm really into aesthetics. You guys know my channel's different than a lot out there because I care so much about aesthetics and how it looks. But here's what I did. For those that are like me, that are a, snob, I won't even call it snob, like detail, like you want the best quality, clarity. You want to see the beautiful drone shots at their finest. I basically, in your Patreon account, if you have access to that video, if you just go down to the description, I describe it, but there's a link where you can basically go and download the actual file. That's always going to be better than any streaming service because streaming compresses really hard. And once you download the file, although it may take just a little bit, probably like 5, depending on your download,
could take quite a while.
Here, it took me like 5 minutes most, and we have really high speeds. But it's a high quality MOV file, and that's how you want to watch it. If you want the full quality, and you can hook your laptop up to your TV, stream a file, whatever, not stream a file, but play the file. Anyways, you'll play it locally. So there's no buffering, no hanging, no artifacts. It's true 4K. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say 4K. It'll be high 1080p, but HD for sure. Anyways, with that said, so you got two ways. You can stream it right in there, or you can, and if you buy the film, if you want to purchase the film, put that link in the show notes too. But you can just put this link at any time you guys want to purchase or see in, lawabidingbiker.com/ride-now. That'll get you there. You can purchase the new one, which is, our newest documentary film. We only sell one at a time. As soon as that one's done selling, we release the last one that's been for sale for a year for free on YouTube. So it's just a process. But The Road to Brotherhood, that's the newest documentary film. And again, you can get it over at that link. But what I was saying is if you do buy it at a very reasonable price that we have it, we appreciate your support because so much work goes into those. But also, I'm making it now so you can stream it or you can download the file.
That's new.
And it is on Gumroad. I used to not do that, but I am doing it now just because I know there's some that want to watch it in the highest quality. I was telling you a little while ago, or just a couple days ago, a lot of people don't know. It's just when you're a creator, you realize like you want to see your work in the highest quality. And I know a lot of people don't care. They're watching on their smartphone. It's compressed. It's being served to them in 720p, which is just shit. A lot of the different generations just don't care. But I know there are people out there, quality. A lot of people watch our content, guys. If you didn't know this, little pro tip. I do it all the time. When you're watching YouTube on your laptop or your phone, it's going to serve it at a really low quality. Go to your settings, your little gear icon, and force it into 4K. The video is there. It's not going to serve it to you in 4K because they're trying to maintain bandwidth and it costs them more to do that and screw them. Take your gear icon. I force all videos. If it's in 4K or HD, I go always every video into my gear icon and it'll be auto playing in like 480 or 720. You see all the pixels. It's like 480. It's like, no.
Garbage.
Go into your gear icon, hit it, and you can have it, force it to not auto. Leave it out of auto, guys, because you're getting screwed. And they're serving it to what could be a beautiful video. They're serving it to you in just a shitty compressed format. And anyways, all right. That's all for this episode. We're about an hour in, so let's go ahead. All right, dude. It's ridiculous, dude. But it's just stuff I have on my mind that I want to tell you guys. So that's how I roll. You guys know me well enough after 11 years. So we appreciate our sponsors up front. And obviously our regular sponsors, but these folks are also some of our newest sponsors, directly responsible and why we're coming to you strong after 11 years. We want to thank some of our newest patron members.
We'd like to thank Kevin Kent of Bothell, Washington, Chris Watson of Tampa, Florida, and Stephanie Lezak of Ashland, Wisconsin. Yes, that is right. That is Chris and Wendy's daughter. It's a family affair. She just joined up. Stephanie.
Wow. They're both patron members and now Stephanie. Unbelievable. The Lezaks supporting us for so many years. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap. You can stay within that budget that you need to. Of course, there are a plethora of benefits for you. T-shirts, stickers, access to the private Facebook group, troll-free zone, nothing but bikers helping and connecting with other bikers out there. It is just an awesome forum. Tons of help. No dumb questions. You will get help. Tons of experts in there helping other bikers out. Access to live video broadcasts and chat. Access to premium videos up on request like we just told you. And of course, access to those ride, meetup, and events like we just discussed at the very opening of this podcast. Coming up 2024, East Coast, Saturday, June 8th. We want to make it really big. And so, get over there and check out that information, guys. All right. So we're going to dive in to our main topic, and I think we should just start it out with a voicemail, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, this is Steve from Manalapan. I'm a long-time listener. I just worry that the more that you take free junkets from Harley-Davidson, the less honest your reviews become. Car guys get this from a lot of different manufacturers, and therefore there's a lot of different places taking them fancy places. With you guys, it's just really Harley-Davidson. I think you got to cut down on some of the being treated like gold, because we really do count on you for honest reviews, not for ones that pay for Harley trips.
All right. So I appreciate Steve leaving that message. And I just want to say this up front. Nothing we're about to say in any way is to put down Steve at all. He brings up some points that a lot of people, and I'm just going to say it up front, you're going to learn is a complete misconception. And I understand why the misconception's there.
Oh, very understandable.
And so we respect Steve to the fullest for actually saying it, because it spurred this episode.
Yeah.
And it's something I wanted to explain, because we do get comments here and there. And I know that, you know, it's just human nature. We all kind of think we know what's going on with certain things, but and I do it too. I make assumptions based on what I see. And a lot of time assumptions are wrong, right? My assumptions are the mother of all fuck ups, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. We're humans.
Yeah,
We're all guilty of it. So Steve, thank you. I love voicemails.
And I see it as a valid concern from an audience member too.
Yes, definitely.
100%.
Yep. lawabidingbeggar.com/contact. You can leave a voicemail from anywhere in the world, right from your computer or smartphone, no cost to you. And we'd love to hear your voices and things like this. We were already going to do a 200K episode, but this was like, okay, this is perfect timing. So it actually was a very interesting voicemail at the right time.
Perfect timing.
It popped Steve. In. Yeah, thank you. So head over there. I want to hear your lovely voices. And so let me just start out. We're going to answer some of those questions. And I'm also going to talk about what we've done over the years and kind of the grind, what actually running a business like this is like. If it looks glorious on one end, well, that's great, because that's fun to portray. But this is real life and real money and real finances and real troubles and struggles and high points and rewards and everything in between. So first of all, Steve, car guys, they're dumb. Lurch, you didn't even hear a word I said. Oh,
car guys are dumb because they're riding in cars instead of on bikes?
Yeah, I'm just teasing him. Lurch is completely,
there is a lot more car manufacturers out there than motorcycle manufacturers.
But. And I'm just teasing. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't watch car channels, and I don't know what they do. So, I do. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah.
The manufacturers are really good in the auto industry in particular in getting their platforms out to not necessarily influencers, but just personalities and media more than anything, and having events. It seems like the more, and we've talked about this in past episodes, that the motorcycle industry, and in particular like the V-twin touring industry, was behind the times as far as getting their product out to more than just media. Print media, magazine media. They're moving into the digital media and the YouTube space just over the last few years. And I think you'll probably talk about it, but it took us, I have a note here, like over 8 years before we got contacted from any manufacturer, Harley-Davidson in specific. So we just haven't had the opportunity to review a whole mess of motorcycles. Now, we'd be happy to. Anybody that wants to send us one for review, we'd definitely be open to it.
Mm-hmm. Right. So here's the dealio on this. I think I'll hopefully do this in a way that will just bring up good points and make you think. I want everybody to put yourself in my shoes for a little bit on this podcast, okay? So I just want to, and so a lot of this is going to intertwine. So I've worked really hard for 11 years, okay? I worked really hard for 8 years. 8 freaking years, over 1,000 videos, 300, at that time, coming on 300 podcasts before I ever got an invite from any company to review a bike or anything of that scale. All right. So that didn't come easy. So I am here to serve the biker community. I want to help, educate, entertain, inspire, whatever I can do to help the biker community. All right. That was my mission from day one. When I started the channel, it started as a passion project. There was no money. There was no AdSense on YouTube. I didn't even know you could make money. Really, literally just wanted to help bikers and get the word out and connect with bikers. And so it started deep down. It was just in my heart to do it, and never ever expecting to make a dime off of it. It never was supposed to be a business. It was supposed to just be try to build a community and see where it went from there. I had to figure out how to monetize it at some point, because you'll burn out, and we'll talk about that. So here's my question is, so me and Lurch in the past have, and me in particular, because I do that side of the business of video, I've struggled to get bikes. So if you want to learn about a new bike, the audience, I got to ask you, how am I supposed to get the bike? Okay. So I want to, here I am in a bind. I want to help the audience, and there's new bikes out, and I want to get the information out to them, but I don't have, like, Harley's not sending me bikes. So what did we do back in the day?
We used the ones we could get our hands on, which were friends and family.
Right. And I went to the dealership.
And that too.
I went to the local dealership, and I made connections with my local dealership, because I was like, and Harley wasn't doing anything with YouTubers yet. And so I luckily made connections, but they wouldn't give me the bikes. Most of these bikes I could only get for like a day. Some bikes they would only give me for a half a day. I had to do a review of the bike in a half day. Like I still remember how stressful that was going up in the canyon, but you're working full time. Lurch wasn't with me full time. I had nobody else full time with me, and I'm trying to set up cameras and GoPros, and they were down and dirty, and they still turned out really good. But I got a lot of views when I did the new Street Glide, when they did the Milwaukee 8.
Yeah.
I was struggling to get information out to you guys. And so I have to ask the question, if you guys, you want to trust my reviews, and I know my long-term audience completely trusts my reviews. I always stay impartial, and you'll see in all my videos, I nitpick. Even if I can't find a lot wrong, I still nitpick. You will not find that. I dare you to go watch other YouTube channels in the same space. They will never nitpick a bike at all. And I do. And I will always do that. And Hardy knows that about me. But my question is, am I supposed to turn this down? As a YouTuber, as a podcaster that's in the motorcycle space, am I supposed to turn down? And if you trust me as a creator and you trust my opinion and my reviews, then that just needs to stand. And I hope I build that trust over years. But so here's the alternative. Hardy calls me and says, hey, we want to fly you to Santa Barbara, and we want you to review a bike for us. We're going to pay for your hotel and meals. Okay. All right, cool. And I just want to tell you guys right now, that is all they pay for. And not even always meals. We'll talk about that 120th. And we're okay. We're not bitching. Okay. They do not pay me, and I do not get a check. In fact, it usually costs me money, and we'll break down our Spokane trip with the Indian. So my alternative is to go, no, you know what, Hardy, I'm not interested in your bike because my audience thinks that you're giving me too much and I can't review. So now I sit. What am I supposed to do? Now I'm sitting here with my thumb up my butt, knowing that other YouTubers are going to be able to review this bike, and they're not going to review it fairly like me. Not all of them, but a lot. So I guess put yourself in my shoes. What would you do? I just have to, like I said, trust that my audience is going to trust my reviews, but I have to take the bike because I have to get it on the channel, and I have to be able to review it in my style because my audience expects that of me. They expect when there's a new Harley release that I'm going to be one of the channels, the big channels, to review it. I don't know if the car guys get paid. I don't know if somebody thinks Harley actually pays me for that. Hell no. That's on my time. I'm actually burning vacation time at my paying police job away from my family to take that vacation time so that I can go to review these bikes. You want to jump on any of that from your side? Well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do is my question.
No, so from an audience perspective, I think it's valid to be concerned that you're getting flown around and that you're reviewing bikes and
not first class, by the way.
Potentially that you could be biased. I get that, and obviously we're going to address this. But no, we can't, you should not turn those opportunities down. What we should do, and you should do, is continue to say yes to opportunities. The challenge is getting those opportunities. So we've worked really hard with Indian over the last several years, trying to get our hands on them so that we can review. We've some of the Indians that we've reviewed or used belong to friends of ours. This is the first Indian that we actually, this pursuit that we got our hands on from Indian, but through the Brand Amp, which is their third party marketing company. So just to kind of explain a little bit, Harley Davidson has all their stuff in-house. So they've got in-house PR guys and marketing guys, and they've got a fleet of bikes like you wouldn't believe for this type of stuff. And so they're able to provide us or get us to bikes pretty easy. Indian is a smaller brand. They're using a third-party marketer. They do not have the fleet of bikes that Harley has, and so it's been a real challenge. I think one of the most searched things on our YouTube channel is Indian motorcycles. And so we know that the audience wants more reviews of Indians, and we're struggling. We're working hard to do it. And the fact that we got one sitting out in the garage is proof of that. But I just want to put it in perspective that no, we shouldn't say no to opportunity. We should say yes to opportunity. And we are trying to get more opportunities as we move forward. We're definitely an American V-twin centric and more on the Harley side, just because there's more Harleys than Indians. That's the type of channel that we have. And so that's the manufacturers that we tend to attract. But we ride adventure bikes. We're getting more into that. So we've got, KLRs, Kawasaki KLRs. We've got some Husqvarnas in the group. So we're going to continue to build this channel out, but it takes time. It takes time. It took us 8 years to get the attention of Harley Davidson. So it's going to take us time to get the attention of other manufacturers. But trust me, we're working on getting more bikes to be able to review and give you a wide type of bike to review, but it's a challenge.
Yep. And so hopefully that puts it in perspective a little bit. And I just want to tell you, I'm going to break this down a little bit so you can really see what this is like. Is Harley Davidson actually cost me a lot of money this year. I spent more money than I got back out of it. And here's why. So number one, Harley is not flying me first class. This isn't Harley's got an advertising budget, and they're trying to get you, they're not going to buy you the most expensive flight.
Well, you're not Jason Momoa, so.
Right, clearly.
You don't get the first class treatment.
I am not Aquaman. So
the budget for YouTubers is probably much lower than it is for Hollywood actors, I would imagine.
And they're getting away from Hollywood actors, it seems, which is a good thing. Because the audience doesn't care. Anyways, so they've got a budget, and this isn't highfalutin, wine and dining. So the 120th was the shittiest flights in the world. I had to go from Yakima to
Mine
Seattle.
Was great. I don't know what you're talking about. It was.
And the reason Lurch says that is because I bought his. That's another good point.
Direct flight.
So there's a bunch of points here. I got to try to stay on track.
Okay.
So
did I take you off track?
Yes. So Lurch's flight. So back to my point of costing money.
Right.
Lurch's flight. I actually paid for that to the 120th because I needed him down there to help me film because they didn't want to fly 2 people down. And so I made a deal with him. I'm like, I got to have him. This is a big event to cover, and I don't run around. And there's nothing wrong with it. I don't run around with a GoPro in my hand. I have full, huge DSLR, mirrorless cameras and microphones, and I just my production level. It's just a personal thing. Not there's anything wrong with doing it the way others do it. But I just have an aesthetic and the way I do things. I wanted another film guy down there, production guy, and so I had to pay for his flight, which was a good flight straight through. Mine, yes, you're welcome. Mine was, layovers in Seattle, and then another layover Midwest, and then into Milwaukee. I got in at like 2 a.m. I had to be up at 8 a.m. My luggage was lost because there was transfers. This is not ideal. Not first class, coach. Most of the time I upgrade to like comfort class, comfort or not first class,
on your
but business on my dime. And they don't pay for your luggage. So I always have to take an extra bag because I got to carry all my film gear carry on, and I've got suitcases. So that's another $40 pop there and back each time for checking my luggage in. So I just want to go there. So if you think I'm making money, so now I'm losing money. All right. So yeah, I got a flight down there. That's great. Honestly speaking, I could afford my own flight, but yes, I'm going to take them up on that.
Sure, of course.
Because I know this trip's going to cost me money. But the reason I'm doing it is I'm trying to bring this content to you guys, the audience, and that costs me money to do that. We're going to get into how we make that money up a little bit later, because it's not from these trips. All right. And it's not from AdSense from these videos. That's a joke. I never get back what I put into these. And not to mention all the film gear and thousands of dollars of equipment we take down and all that. So number 2 is, yes, on a few of the trips, Hardy does buy meals. They'll take you out, like, when we went to Santa Barbara, they took us out to some meals. When we went to the Pan America, that was a pretty cool deal. But there are a lot of times, they'll meet you. They'll like have a thing with the hotel where you can get your breakfast and it's on them. They'll have some stuff like that, but they don't always do the meals. And like at the 120th, they didn't. And then we were down 120th. We paid for most of our own meals at the 120th, right?
Yeah.
Breakfast we bought at Starbucks and coffee, and we did our own lunches. They bought one lunch down there. That's it.
Yeah, couple. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. The when we went to that brewery or whatever it was, the Hot House.
That's all I remember. That's the only one.
Then we got some vouchers for the.
Oh, vouchers.
Yeah,
okay.
For the
which we didn't use. We gave them to somebody we saw in the audience.
At the museum.
Yeah. Okay. So, again, so one meal and a couple vouchers. So that's all we got at the 120th. We paid for everything else. I paid for our meals. So that's an expense. All right. So it's not like you think that it's some big fancy wine, and it is a grind. And
It's
they
a quick
have
trip.
you.
There's not a whole lot of downtime. There's not a lot of time to just to vacation and
No.
live the life of luxury. It's down and dirty.
Yep. If you want to do your audience and you want to serve your audience, me and Lurch had so many things on our agenda to run around the 120th to try to cover. It was a blur. When you're done, it takes a week. You feel like you're drunk for a week. You can't imagine.
What do you mean? Feel like?
What's that?
What do you mean feel like?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot different than. I mean, it's work. Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, but it's fun too. It's rewarding.
It's rewarding because I'm helping the audience.
Yeah,
that's honestly that's the reward. When I'm able to come back, put those videos into edit, and go, I have valid information here that's going to help educate, entertain, inspire. Then it makes it worth it on these trips. So let's just get out of the way. All right. That these trips cost our company money. All right. I never make that back in AdSense. While we're talking about AdSense, I'm just going to lay the foundation for you guys. If you think that YouTubers are getting rich off AdSense, you are completely 100% uneducated on that matter. I just want to tell you, there is a whole bunch to AdSense. When I started YouTube, there was no such thing. Again, that's why I started it from my heart. It wasn't for money. It wasn't until years in I found out you actually had to be invited back then to the AdSense. If you don't know what AdSense is, it's basically all the commercials you see at the beginning and during videos. Well, those are ads placed by Google. You can be in that program. You don't pick the ads. Google picks the ads, and they run them against your videos. Google's the one, YouTube. Obviously, Google owns YouTube. They're getting rich off this, okay? It's not the creators. You're getting pennies per 1,000 clicks on a video, guys. Pennies per 1,000 clicks. The other thing you need to understand is we're in the motorcycle space, so there's going to be less advertisers for us than you would like a pop star. So not only are we getting pennies per 1,000 clicks, there's a smaller amount of advertisers that get to pick. The advertisers get to pick what type of content they want their advertisements on. So if you're a pop star, musician, you've got millions of subscribers. Well, everybody from toothpaste to pink panties can advertise in front of you because they're right. Motorcycles, yes, you're still going to get a lot, but it's going to be more tools, motorcycle stuff, helmets, motorcycle, right? Does that make sense?
So we've got knives,
right?
That's what's been on mine lately.
Yes, exactly.
Some guy hawking his knife for the kitchen. Looks like a big old axe or something he doesn't cut his dinner up with.
So within the motorcycle advertising space, we're going to make less than somebody who's in a broader market because there's less advertisers and less money.
Sense.
So a lot of people don't realize that. So in the motorcycle space, it's pennies per 1,000 clicks. So you can imagine how many views you would have to get to make any sort of living on AdSense alone, which is a stupid business model. If you're doing that, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to burn out and your success is going to be it's going to be meek. It's just not going to happen if you go in thinking you're going to make money and be rich off AdSense. The only people that actually can sustain that is if you're getting millions and millions of views on every video you put out. Then you might be able to have a decent lifestyle off of that. But normal channels like ours, even with 200,000 subscribers, you might be living in a tent eating top ramen or something. So it's just, anyways, AdSense, a lot of people comment on it, not a lot. I shouldn't say. A few keyboard warriors will comment every now. Why are you selling stuff when you're making so much money on YouTube? It fries me every time. It's just people assume they know. Assumption is the mother of all fuck ups. All right. And it's not true. And I never made that a business model because I knew AdSense was crap. Yes. Will I take what they give me? Of course.
Absolutely.
And we'll put it back into the business. We're not, but yeah. So there you go. So that's AdSense. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's see. We got some general notes here, guys.
Yeah.
But again, it cost me vacation time with my family, money, expenses, meals, all that kind of stuff. If you didn't know, I'm still a full-time police officer for a reason. And that's because I've dumped an assload of money back into the business to build it over the years.
You've taken very little out.
Yes.
In fact, the first 8 to 10 years, I would say you almost took nothing out.
Correct.
To the point where I think myself and others you could probably use a little bit of this if you want, And even when you did take money out, it was to build something like the studio.
Right.
Is that a benefit to you? Sure. It's on your property. We're sitting in the podcast studio. We've got the garage next door, but that's still all business related. So you've been really careful not to take money out of the business for too much personal type stuff. Now, when a couple of years ago, when the economy was really good, you were probably on the verge of thinking maybe I could retire early. But the truth is, right now the economy sucks. Our income in all different levels of the business or facets of the business is down, and that's not just us. That's all kinds of industries right now. So we're not in a position where you can retire. But you've got a couple of years left, and hopefully. When you retire, then we can do this thing full time and it'll get even bigger. But it's just something that you've had to navigate and try to make sure that you keep this thing moving forward and not take money out of it for your own use at the expense of the business. Right.
Well said. Thanks for cleaning that up. So let's talk about, I am still working full time. I would like to retire, like Lert said.
I'd like you to retire too.
Yeah, me too, dude. We were just talking about that this morning. We got so many projects that I'd love to do to help the audience, and I could put out more content for you guys. But
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming, guys.
It's coming. So just to reiterate, so we got an Indian Pursuit finally. And if you guys haven't seen that review, it's on the YouTube channel, Indian Pursuit. And,
and after a lot of work to get one, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah.
It took us years. We had a contact at the third party company, then he quit. And it's weird with the third party companies. Harley's all in house. So it's really a lot more organized.
Streamlined, definitely more streamlined. You're going right to the person.
Yep.
Right.
Who can go right to the CEO if he wants.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's always better to have stuff in house than contract out if you can, but it's oftentimes more expensive. So, so here's the Indian. We got the Indian. Me and Lurch were like, okay. So they sent me a bike. They didn't fly me anywhere. They didn't take me anywhere, but I finally got an Indian. People have wanted me to review Indians. So what did Lurch and I do? I completely lost our ass on the Indian, and we knew that. We didn't do it because we were going to make money. We did it because you guys asked, and we know it's searched on our channel, and we want to help guys. So, I gave a very impartial review on that Indian.
And we originally thought we'd only have it for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So that I just want to throw that in there. We had to kind of put something together quick. We didn't want to waste time and not have it long enough and write it, long enough to have a good review on it. We didn't just want to run it up the canyon and take some pictures of it. We wanted to take a road trip with the thing because it's a touring bike.
Yep. So Indian sent us nothing except a bike. That's it. No direction, no nothing. All right. And we're fine with that. So me and Lurch, again, I took Lurch because we need another guy in production. I don't want to travel over there by myself, but we took a trip to Spokane, Washington from where we are. We paid for that. We paid for gas. We paid for hotels. We paid for all meals just to shoot this video. And then obviously come back and all the editing time and the article and everything that goes into it. You're never getting that back off AdSense. You won't even get a quarter of that back off AdSense views, guys. But I knew that. We knew going into it, it was simply to serve our audience. And we're going to continue to do that. We eat it there and we try to make up that money in other areas. Like we'll talk about the store and through some other things, guys. You cannot survive. It is a failing business model to think you're going to become a YouTuber and be able to quit your job. You better have an inheritance or money somewhere else that you can live off of, because it's not going to be just making videos on YouTube and AdSense, not in the motorcycle space. It's just not plausible at all. So there you go. Again, all these trips lost money. I get a flight and sometimes some meals, and that's it, guys. And so that's how I can remain very impartial, is because I'm going to be honest. And Harley, you guys have seen my Harley reviews. I always nitpick them at the end, and I've been very hard on Harley in the past, but they've made some great improvements. And I would tell you that whether they were giving me bikes or not. I'm always going to be fair, always going to be honest. They're doing some great things, and they've made some great new improvements to their bikes. And of course, there's still things that can be improved. And I always try to take some time at the end of my reviews and give you the cons. So there you go. That's a bit, hopefully that answers. We're going to probably answer more of that question just because it's intertwined in what we're about to get into, about the business. And so now that you know YouTube loses us money, now we're going to go through how we've learned to monetize and fill that gap.
But it gets us out there, right?
No, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cause it's an audience. We get out there, but we're not making money on that.
Yeah. Again, pennies per 1,000 clicks, but it is a piece of the pie for the business, but it is a way we know we need to be there because we reach the most bikers on YouTube. That's where, we reach such a huge audience. We reach a large audience on the podcast, but obviously quick YouTube videos, everybody knows is out there. And we're on Instagram, obviously. That's huge for us over there. Get on Instagram, guys. Of course, we're on Facebook too, but Instagram, we do a lot of stuff over there. And we're on TikTok too, just some shorts and stuff, but definitely by far, YouTube's where it's at for getting the most information out to our audience. So that's why we're there, even though we know that, that we usually lose money on the videos we put out there. It's for other reasons. It's part of the big picture. All right. So here's one way that we've learned to monetize over time.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot, obviously you have to find different ways. So it was probably before I had my first sponsor, like 5-6 years. And I'm just guessing, before we started realizing, okay, we need sponsors for the podcast because there's no other way to monetize a podcast right now, essentially. Rather than, there are commercials now, which we're running. But this is a big way. And we want to thank the sponsor because they've got just badass products.
Hey, bikeaholics searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, or grinding or welding for an easy installation. This equals less time installing and more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@zero3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products.
So, sponsors are huge, guys. Bringing them on. We love Zero. They've been with us for a lot of years, and they definitely, those sponsorships help us keep this podcast alive. So they're near and dear to us, and we only put people on, that's one thing, no like and trust. We've had offers before, and we don't necessarily take them. It has to work for us, and we have to believe in the company. Again, another reason why so many know, like, and trust this platform is because we don't just put shit in front of you just to make $1. If we don't like it, you should see the amount of Amazon people that want us to review their shit and stuff. So
all the crappy LED lights and stuff from, made overseas, and just junk that they just constantly bombard our inbox with that they want us to review on our channel.
Yep, exactly. So that's why we only put the stuff that we believe in front of you guys. So, all right. So let's break down our 200K subscribers, and we're going to get a little bit deeper. So 200,000 subscribers after 11 years, guys. You don't get a plaque for that. We have a 100K plaque on the wall. Well, they don't. Yeah, I know. Next is the million.
Oh, you go from 100,000 to a million.
Yep.
You ain't nothing in between. Huh?
No, isn't it crazy, isn't it?
That is a
so
big
we're
jump.
probably never going to get the motorcycle space. Just
crazy.
Yeah, we're such a, the motorcycle.
It's a niche.
It's a niche. So there's just not the audience to do that. You got to be like a pop star one-off and to do that kind of thing. So that's probably our last plaque on the wall, but that's okay. We don't care. We never did it for the plaque. We never did it for that, as you guys can see.
And I love that one because it's got dents in it.
I know, dude.
Because you threw it in a backpack. I remember the video. You threw it in a backpack. You're on the Diner Lowrider S.
Yep.
Took it up into the canyon, did some videos, and you came
during
back.
COVID, right in the height of COVID.
Yeah. Brought it back, and I'm like, dude, you dented the shit out of that thing.
It's a true motorcycle studio
absolutely.
plaque. It has some soul to it, right?
Yeah.
So we are definitely, if you guys didn't know, I am officially, and I've been called that by multiple people, OG in the motorcycle YouTube space, really YouTube in general. It was back in 2013, and YouTube was just kind of an abyss of shit. And it's starting to turn back into that, unfortunately, in a different way, because everybody wants to upload to YouTube, and there's just so much junk, it's hard to sift through. But back then, it was easy to sift through the good stuff and the bad stuff, because there was a lot of crap and very little good stuff. And so I just started making some videos to help people, and our oil change video, and it just blew up. And again, no money back then at all. No AdSense, nothing like that. So that was just coming into fruition kind of a year or two after I got up and running. So clearly, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, here's what I'll say is forget about the money right away. And I've already said it. If you're going into it for the money, you're already a dying business model, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Your first thought should be first of all, who's my audience? Who am I trying to reach? Find that out, and then find, what are you going to do to know, what are you going to do to, entertain, educate, inspire, help, build community, all those things. Like what can I provide? How can I serve? Not how can they serve me? How can I get money out of them? How can I do this and do that? And I'm going to be a famous YouTuber, and I'm going to retire from my job, or I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to ride around with a GoPro, and everybody's going to be interested in me. Number one, that's narcissistic. So you're probably a narcissist in the first place. You have to give people a reason to even be interested in you in the first place. And that comes, human nature is, if you help them, they will come. But you have to provide value. A lot of these YouTubers, we see them come and go. We've seen so many YouTubers come and go over the years, and all these new guys trying to come up. And I'm not talking bad about them, but a lot of them are just out thinking they can just ride around, and suddenly people are just going to be interested in them. You got to provide value to people for the most part, unless you're a teeny bopper. Obviously, you can dance around in a skimpy dress and whatever, but for the most part in this space, you're going to have to provide value, and it's going to take time to get your audience to know, like, and trust you. And so again, if you're going into it for those reasons, then you're going to fail, and you're going to burn out. And we're going to talk about burnout and mental health in a little bit. So don't go into it for that reasons. If you are just, now if you're just doing it as a hobby and you're uploading a video now and then, and you make $20 a month on AdSense, well, good for you, because you don't really care about it that much, and it's just a hobby. So enjoy. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're probably never going to get big and just doing it that way. But hey, as long as you're happy and you're providing value, and good to go there. So you can get monetized a lot easier these days. Back when I did it, you had to be invited, and I was invited eventually, and I signed up. I was like, oh, I was like dumbfounded, like, oh, really? You're going to pay me some money to what I'm already doing. Okay. Yeah. Well, fuck, sounds great. So I signed up and we've been monetized ever since. So I'm just going down our notes here, guys, to make sure I cover everything. Yeah, we've seen a lot come and go, and that's just burnout. And again, it's a fad right now, guys. YouTube is a freaking fad. Everybody thinks they can be a YouTuber. Everybody thinks they can start a channel. Can you? Yeah. But people aren't willing to put in the work, and they don't realize how guys like me got to where I'm at. Over 1,000 videos on the channel, like 1,100, 11 years, 2 full-time jobs, running a company, sleepless nights, short nights. You are going to have to dig deep, and it is a job. And just like all jobs, there are days you don't feel like creating. There are days you don't feel like going to work, but I did it anyways, and I still do it. I have to force myself sometimes. Like I gotta dig deep. This weekend, Saturday's gone. I need to get out in the studio and record this video. I need to script this or whatever. It is a regular job, guys. It is not glorious. It is not, I don't even know what the words to put. Like, I just think people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. It is a grind. You are going to have to work. You're going to have to show up for years, year after year, day after day, even when you don't feel like it. I've been out at 3 a.m. recording before, like when I was on graveyards. Or swing shifts, get home and I would have it scripted and I would record it and then go to bed. So, and it's not glorious when you're by yourself at 4 a.m. recording a video. It is what it is. But I know my main reason is to help inspire, educate, like I've already said, bikers, and continue. And I can't do it if I give up. And so there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to find it's very glorious, and you're going to find, just like any job, after a while, you normalize it, and you have to find new ways to inspire yourself and new ways to be creative, and you have to pivot. You have to be willing to pivot. We've pivoted a lot over the years, and we've changed our style or certain ways we do things, and we've added content. We never pigeonholed ourselves. A lot of creators are pigeonholing themselves, especially in the motorcycle space, and that's fine because it makes it easier for me. Yeah, what do you offer, and how long can you offer it, and what kind of content are you putting out? So there's just a lot of things to consider, but yeah, jumping in front of a camera, starting a channel and thinking you're going to be big, good luck with that. Send me an email and let me know how you did it, because I don't think I'm going to get any emails on that. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. You got anything to throw in on all this?
Well, I just want to say that it is not necessarily the glamorous life, just to kind of put a button on it. Yeah. It's a lot of fun, no doubt.
No, it is.
I don't want the audience to think that this is just a miserable experience.
Right.
But it is a grind. It's a whole lot of fun. I mean, especially for me now, and I think it'll be even better for you once you retire. You've got a lot of balls up in the air, and I did at one point too, and I still do, obviously, because we're a small company. But now that I've retired from my law enforcement job and I'm doing this full time, it's a lot more enjoyable. It's still a job. There's still things that need to be done, and there's stresses with, timelines and getting stuff done, trying to keep all the balls up in the air. But being in the motorcycle space,
you keep my balls in the air with your hand.
Sorry. Such an idiot. You're a child sometimes.
I am a child.
But we had to go into everything that is behind the scenes to kind of explain what it's like to be a YouTuber, but I do want to just reiterate to the audience that it is fun. We do enjoy it.
We wouldn't do it.
Yeah, wouldn't do it.
If you're not enjoying it, you only care about money, you won't survive.
Yeah,
you better find some joy in it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I didn't want it to come off, and I don't think it was, but I just want to make sure, we're not doom and gloom. This is horrible. It's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun together doing this. And it's going to be even more fun when we can get you to retire in a couple of years.
Totally. Yeah. So what Lurch says, I'm just going to piggyback off that. Yes. So after I said all that, and the grind and finding and digging deep and not feeling like it sometimes, there's a reason I still do it all after 11 years. And that is, my reward is connecting with bikers, the community, the patron community that we've established and continues to grow, seeing bikers connecting and helping other bikers in that community, meeting you guys at events, the awesome feedback, the awesome comments. When I hear, guys, email us or comment and say, hey, your video literally saved me. I was stuck in the shop and, I got your video or I watched it on YouTube. Amazing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're helping bikers, all that community, the people that I've got to meet in the industry, Harley Davidson representatives, working with Indian and our sponsor, Ciro, Butt Buffer, Rick Rack, I think the community is the biggest part of it for me, and connecting with people that I otherwise would have never got to connect. Yes. Is it cool? Yes, I lose money on the trips, but is it cool to be flown by Harley Davidson?
Sure.
And be bought a steak dinner? Hell yeah. I mean, I'm a freaking cop of 28 years. I never thought that I would have those sorts. I've worked hard for it. And I tell guys that I've already established that it didn't come easy, but yeah, it's a good feeling to get something back because I've worked so hard for it. So for me to take advantage and go, yeah, this is cool. Harley Davidson's buying me a steak and a beer. This is badass. I will tell you that these are good people. The relationships that I've established within the Harley marketing team, these are real bikers. Like, I just want you guys to know that these folks I become friends with and communicate with and text, Paul just texted me and said, hey, congrats on your 200K subscribers. Nice. They watch, and Matt, happy Thanksgiving. We text back and forth. The other opportunities I never thought, I've got to connect with a lot of other YouTube channels and YouTube people in my space, which I never thought I would do at these events. And I become friends with them and I text them and we help each other. Definitely help each other, throw in information our way, or, if you have a company that's interesting, networking, making connections. So that's why I still do it all, guys. Knowing that you're out there and we're helping. I mean, the podcast is a grind, let alone, we're here doing 2 back-to-back. So yes, thank you, Lurch. So I just wanted to piggyback off that. Yes. Out of all that, it's still, some great experiences, lifetime experiences that I'll never be able to forget. So, with that said, still 95% of our content is still for free, guys. That's just the way it is. But we do need to monetize, and we're going to get into a little bit. Here's what I'll start by saying this is, you already know, don't go into YouTube for the money. Don't go if you think you're going to be some pop star in the motorcycle space and everybody's going to like to watch you ride around and talk. Have a plan. And I learned early on not to put all your eggs in one basket.
Diversify.
For whatever. Yes. And I don't have a business degree or anything. I'm definitely an entrepreneur, self-taught. I don't really have hardly any college at all. Been a 28-year law enforcement officer, but I knew in my mind, I was like, okay, hang on. Number one, this isn't a lot of money off AdSense. So that put a little bell in my head. And then number two, I was like, hang on. So YouTube, I don't pay YouTube anything. So basically they can kick me off, or they could shut down tomorrow, or they could lose all my videos. So this isn't good to have all my eggs in one basket. So realizing I can't do this for the next 11 years and justify that to my family and look forward to retiring someday and doing this full time, I was like, I have to monetize it. You can't do at the rate and pace I was going for free for 11 years. It just not going to work. But still, we are very proud that to date, 95% of our content to you, the audience, is still completely free. So whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, no matter where you are, Facebook, we have an email list is huge. Maintain your own email list. We have that. You can get right in people's inboxes should one of these platforms shut down, or you may say the wrong thing, or maybe there's been channels shut down that didn't even say the wrong thing. They just didn't like their content anymore. When you are playing in YouTube sandbox, it is their sandbox, and they have no problem kicking you out for no reason whenever they want. They can make up reasons. YouTube has done it. Look at the firearms channels. They demonetized them. And that's how people, that was part of their income. So you better not do that. If you do that, you are going to be very sad when they shut your life down because they kick you off. They monitor everything you say on YouTube. There's bots, there's transcriptions. Honestly, I knew my video on my 200 cases. So make sure you guys get over there and watch it. Please give it views. The reason is I was talking bad about YouTube on it in a very constructive way. But I said, YouTube, I said, creators aren't getting rich. YouTube is. And you don't think they know that? That video, out of all our videos, it's not getting very many views. And I knew that because I knew they do not want you to talk bad about YouTube, the platform, how they're using creators to get rich. They are. Let's just face it. They've made a lot of changes over the years, but they still have a long ways to go. And mental health is a huge thing within the YouTube space. You got a lot of YouTubers absolutely burning out, mental health, trying to get help, coming back, leaving again. You had the daily vlog. You guys know why there's not very many daily vloggers around anymore?
It's hard to do.
You're fucking go insane.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Mm-mm. And all those big daily vloggers, you can name a handful of them. They're all done with it. And they talk about the mental health toll that took on them. You can't do that. It's not sustainable. You can't feed the beast. And that's what it is. It's an algorithm. And I even get in this is you want to just keep feeding the beast. And you think if you don't feed the beast that you're going to lose favor with the algorithms, and you can. And you can lose that anyways. You don't have any control over this beast of YouTube. And anybody who's been in the space a long time realizes that they serve certain demographics more than others. Say what you want. If you're not in YouTube, then you really can't speak about it. But if you're a longtime YouTuber like me, you can absolutely see it. If they have an agenda, they are absolutely political. And if they want to serve a certain demographic more than other demographics because they want to get them on the platform, they will give favor to their channels. I said that, and I guarantee that's why YouTube isn't serving that video to a lot of people. The bots do not like what I have to say.
The bots.
They do. So if you don't think that's happening, it absolutely is. If you can look at some channels, you're like, how did he get that many subscribers? His videos suck. How did he's not even helping anybody. How did he get that many views and that many subscribers that quick? That's why, because YouTube is trying to serve a certain demographic. I'm not trying to get political. I'm not trying to get anything. It's a fact. They're a huge tech liberal company, and they're going to do what they want to do. And you can't stop them because they own you. Technically speaking, they own the platform, and you don't pay them anything, and they can have their own policies, and they can manipulate whatever that we've seen it. We've seen it on Twitter. We've seen, don't think that YouTube and Google aren't doing it either. And I've seen it in bad ways, but you know what? The main thing is it's hard. And I get in that where I just want to serve the beast and feed it videos. But the other side of me, I've learned over 11 years to taper and remember what I'm doing it for. Because when you do that, you lose sight of, it's so easy. I've seen so many YouTubers lose sight of what they started for in the first place. And I already told you guys all the reasons that I started it. And so I just try my hardest to stop worrying about the views and stop worrying about all that stuff and competing. I know that I have an audience, and I know how to serve my audience. And a lot of it here is on the podcast. A lot of other channels don't have podcasts like us. And I know that I just keep putting out, that's what I've always done, is just keep putting out good content to help as many bikers as I can worldwide. And as long as I stick to that, then, we'll monetize the rest of the business. And this is just a tool for us to reach people and stop taking it. It's really easy. And I still do. I'm telling you guys, I'm guilty of it. I still get in the space where I'm like, in the headspace where I'm like, I need to feed the video. I need to do this because I know this video will get a lot more views. I'll stay relevant. And trust me, every YouTuber goes through this, and it's so frustrating. And I've told you guys before, you will put out a video that is so polished and you think it's going to be so helpful, and it is helpful, but the algorithm doesn't serve it up to people, and it gets low views. And then you make a video that you're like, I'm just going to throw this out there and ad-lib it. And it blows up, and it's half as useful as the polished video. It's just unfortunate. It's algorithms, it's bots, it's people manipulating things at YouTube, and they're always changing it. And what you see on your front page and subscribers, honestly, isn't that big a deal anymore. It's a vanity metric, and it's good to have, and I appreciate it. But it used to be when you put out a video, everybody that subscribed to your channel would get notified. You don't get notified in anybody you're subscribed to anymore. They are completely manipulating what they're putting in front of you. And you'll see I see a lot of stuff on my homepage. It's like a guy with 3,000 subscribers, and he's on my homepage. It's because they're pushing that channel. There's certain, and it's like, I've never even watched that channel, and he doesn't even have validity in the space yet, and they're putting it on my homepage. So these are the kind of things that are going on in the background. But again, my advice is you have to get in a space, and I try to stay there as much as possible and just know that I'm enjoying creating, and I'm going to create in my way, and I'm going to try to help people, and whoever I help. And I know they're going to be appreciative, and they'll come to our platform, and we're going to move into how we monetize in other ways right after we do this. Another way we monetize, another sponsor.
Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already.
Oh, my anus.
Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion.
Gotcha.
This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans up, and helps dampen those vibrations. With plenty of miles to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to lawabidingbiker.com and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
My anus.
Yeah, the anus got me. That made me laugh.
I usually do the butt. Oh, my ass.
Yeah,
I did that.
Yeah, caught me off guard with anus.
It is, especially when you whisper it. Oh, my
Yeah, anything's kind of creepy when you whisper it like that.
Oh, no doubt, dude. See, we have a lot of fun here, and that's what you have to learn to do is stuff like this. Yeah, we're immature, but it's how we are, and those that like us, and those that don't. You can't serve everybody, and I've learned that over the years. I gave up a long time ago trying to please everybody. No matter how good your channel you think you are, or you're going to be too serious, and then people will email you or comment that you're too serious, or you goof around too much, and you're immature. You know what? Do you? That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
I've had to come back over the years and go, I just need to do me because I am me and nobody else is me. And you're only
thank
getting,
God.
Yeah. It would be a crazy world, dude. Could you imagine working with two of me?
No, keeping up with one of you, keeping one of you straight is hard enough.
Shit, dude. Poor Lurch.
Squirrel.
Oh God, dude. So that's a lot of behind the scenes, the grind, but again, totally rewarding especially when we meet. I just want to say this and then we're going to move in and we're going to finish this thing. So like when we went to the 120th, just one event. And we've been to a bunch of events this year, and obviously it's been an expensive year for us, but we've got to meet. And this is why we go to these events, like the 120th, the amount of bikers, all the events we go to that came up to us, people will just come up and talk to you. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. I listened to the podcast. Thank you for what you do. You have helped me. I mean, they tell you deep stories about what video and how they found you. I found it with your oil change video, and I was going through, a rough time, and my dealer wanted $500 for an oil change, and I found your video, and I've done them for years now, like 3 years on my own. You've saved me so much money. I love your documentary films. I was going through a difficult time. I went down on my bike, and I had a surgery, but you got me through the winter. We've had guys say I was, pretty depressed, but you lifted my spirits. Like we've had those, that kind of stuff. It means the world to me. And so that when I get stuff like that, it refreshes me so much. Those events are important to me, not because I want to toot my own horn, just that deep sense of camaraderie with other bikers, and to know, like, it's one thing when they thank you online, but when they thank you in person, you can see it and feel it, and you can see it in their eyes. And the fact that they want to spend time with me and talk with me is still amazing to me to this day. And so I try.
It's motivating, keeps you going.
It is. Yeah. It is that connection, that human
good for
connection.
Your soul.
We're online, and that's huge these days, but that personal connection is huge. Huh?
And I would like to give a personal shout out, speaking of personal, to Dwayne Kozar. Dwayne's from Alberta, Canada. We were in Milwaukee at the 120th, and you and I were walking down a sidewalk, and he steps out of a restaurant and goes, Lurch!
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
You're the face of the YouTube channel, so you get recognized most of the time. So that was kind of fun for me to have somebody recognize me. We're like, what? Who? What?
He
Who?
got up, left his dinner partner, walked out the front door, Lurch! I was like, that's badass, dude.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah, that's very cool.
My day.
So let's talk about, now that you know that YouTube is, I also want to say this real quick. I have a lot, but we're going to wind this down. But here, you're going to see other, and I'm not talking about anybody in specific in this. I just want you guys to know that. But you're going to see other YouTubers, and you're going to see them in the motorcycle space specifically. And the problem is that I have is a lot of these YouTubers that are newer or haven't been around a long time in this space will make it look a lot more glorious than it is. And what I mean by that is you'll be like, okay, that's a pretty new YouTuber. And they don't, and realizing even with 200,000 subscribers, you can't, I'm telling you that none of those YouTubers are making a living off AdSense. They're not living off that. Okay. But it gives a false impression, and they won't tell you where their money actually is because they are not living off YouTube AdSense. It's not sustainable in this space unless you want to live in a tent and eat top ramen. So people think that they're some famous YouTuber in the motorcycle space because they don't have a job or they quit their job. I quit my, I love that title. I quit my job for YouTube. I'm quitting this and blah, 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 blah. All the clickbait bullshit.
There's income streams from somewhere.
Yes. That's
just exactly like we just talked about. We're open. We're transparent here. We told you what our income streams are.
Well, we're going to tell
you. Or we're going to tell you.
Yes. But, so a lot of those YouTubers, I'm just telling you, they're already possibly wealthy. They already have an inheritance. They sold they have money in the bank from something else, but they won't tell you.
Retired and have a pension.
Yes. I wish they would.
Like me?
Yes, like you. I wish they would.
Yeah.
They'll come out and just say, listen, I love YouTube and I love my audience. I used to do this. And so I'm doing this as a hobby and I do make some money off it, but people aren't honest about it and they want to make it look like there's some celebrity YouTuber that's doing it full time. And I've watched a couple of the fairly new YouTubers and it's funny to watch, one specifically. And so you see them go into the space and then they do the, I quit my job for YouTube, and they do a big video on it, how they're quitting and they're going to go for it. And then you slowly, they realize that, oh shit, I can't survive. These are the ones without existing money. Mm-hmm. And then you quickly see them, and I see it now on this particular channel and this particular Instagram, doing nothing but commercials for companies now, pushing this product. And that's fine. We do that. Again, I'm not talking about, I'm just saying that's a YouTuber that didn't have wealth and is actually realizing that they're going to have to figure their shit out because trying to put out videos 24/7, 365 off AdSense isn't going to work, and you can't be a daily vlogger. So, but it becomes, because they didn't go into it doing that, now they're saturated. Because you can tell. I know if I talk to them, they'd be like, oh yeah, I totally didn't plan that right. And so now, everybody's used to them doing everything free, and now it's saturated with a lot of them are cheap products too, mm-hmm. and I wouldn't even advertise them. But so you see that those are the YouTubers that don't have money. But anybody in the motorcycle space, I'm just telling you right now, I know all the channels, they are not making a living off AdSense. Okay. It's not how it works. So let's go through how we've learned, and we'll wrap this episode up. Let me talk about this real quick, and then we'll talk about monetize. Okay. I've referenced it. So it's a real thing, guys. You'll see a lot of channels, I'm quitting YouTube for a while, or even in the motorcycle space, you'll see, I'm leaving for a while, or am I going to continue YouTube, and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. It's a real thing. And my heart goes out to anybody who's experienced that or who is going through it. YouTube has caused so much mental health issues for creators. It's sad, and they know it. They don't want to talk about it a lot, and they've tried to do certain things within the industry, but it is, when you are trying to be happy on camera every day for 11 years and trying to feed the machine. And then, like I said, you do a video you put so much work in it, gets little views, and then somebody's shitty video gets a ton of views. It just makes no sense. And so, these folks are burning out, and I've been through it, and you go through phases where you just like, you know what? I don't feel like putting a video out. Like, I'm just going to take a break for a year. It's gone through everybody's mind. Some fight through it. Some don't. Some take breaks. Some don't come back. Some do come back and revamp themselves after they get mental health help. And a lot of them do, guys. it is a real thing, YouTube burnout. Because again, I just think YouTube could do a lot more to support its creators. They don't need to make the amount of money that they're making. They're a huge company and they make money in so many ways. We are the reason their platform exists, and they've made a lot of good things, but they could pay us a lot more than they do. They've taken a big part of that cut, and the creators are the ones that are doing the work. And so I just feel like they can definitely do better, and it would be less burnout if creators get paid more for less videos. And they would be more quality videos, because now you guys see on YouTube, it's just a bunch of shit, a lot of it. And it's so hard to sift through now. So hard to sift through to find the actual good creators, because everybody wants to start a channel because it's a fad right now. So it will thin out. And we've seen it thin out even in the motorcycle space, because people realize after a while it's work, and you see the channels die. And so it's just, it'll work itself out. But mental health is a real thing. So don't think that's a joke, and, get the help you need. And hopefully I've given you some things to think about to help you through that, about why you're doing what you're doing and the mindset to try to keep. But it gets all of us sometimes, and I have to work through that too. So I've had my ups and downs over the years, guys, with YouTube and the podcast, and continuing to go. You got to have a clear direction going into it. That's the main thing. Hopefully I've set you up. If you can't get that clear direction, then maybe it's, everybody will say, it's funny. I hear a lot of different YouTube podcasts and things, and I follow the industry. Everybody will say, oh, just start a channel. I'm the opposite. And a lot of those companies, because they want to sell you their course to how to be a YouTuber. I tell people the honest truth, and it's everything I've told you guys. I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you to know, like if you were going to become a police officer, make sure you do your research. Know the pros and cons. Know that there's serious mental health issues in the industry. Know that, know what you're getting into before you take that dive. And are you going into it as a hobby, or are you just going into it, have a clear direction, have a business plan. If it's something you're eventually going to make a business, just, if you go into it willy-nilly, that you can really get wrapped up and find yourself, and I've seen it in the motorcycle space, you're going to find yourself in a precarious situation at burnout really quick, and you're going to want to quit. So, for success, set yourself up for success, right?
Yeah. Be educated and have a plan.
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yep, the 5 Ps. Is it the 5?
5. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But chasing that
proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
So that's 7.
That's 7.
Okay. I missed the 1 P. So yeah, just, that grind of putting out content. It's just a bad business plan if that's what you're going to do for the next, daily vlog kind of crap. You can only put out so much, guys, as a human being, even if you have a team behind you. And most YouTube channels like ours, we're a bootstrap company. We're running thin. Urlacher wears a ton of hats. I wear a ton of hats, so you're just going to have to learn that you're not going to have this huge, 20 people working for you and all this kind of stuff. It's a bootstrap, and you get employees where you can and where you can afford them, because, it's just like any other business, what you're bringing in and what's going out. All right. So let's go through. Why don't you talk for a while? I've talked about all that. Lurch is the chief operations officer, so he knows obviously all the different income streams, and he actually is our CFO kind of too right now.
No.
You are, you just did the books yesterday.
Yeah.
So he knows more than me about what's coming in and what's going out. And he's just going to explain to you, some of the ways over time that we've learned to monetize and make up all the money we're losing on YouTube. Seriously, it's just, I know that's funny to say, but it's true.
Yeah. The YouTube and the podcast, if you use it correctly, can be advertisement for yourself. So
yes.
A lot of people will do it for, free gear and free items. And, if it's a small channel and it's a hobby and you're getting some free stuff out of it, and that's really your only goal, then fine. But we realized early on that, just accepting free stuff was not sustainable. It was not going to create something that we can carry on to into the future. So you started, I should say, out of your garage, the store, the law-abiding biker store, and we started with one product, the biker gripper. Still our top selling product. It's amazing. It's a great product. And so if you're going to start a store, I would suggest that you start with good products. We've been very careful to only carry stuff that we would recommend, that we use. We could have a huge store, and we're looking to build it out with stuff that we trust and approve. But my suggestion to you would be, if you're going to monetize yourself with a store, make sure that you have good products. Just don't sell junk. And you can use your YouTube channel, and if you have a podcast channel, to then advertise for that. We're kind of unique in that we not only do we have a store, but we are our own advertisement for our store. We don't go outside. We don't have to pay outside advertising sources to advertise for us, other than, the social media and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that's one option for monetization, and that's the first one that we had taken on.
And that came years after. I never thought going into it. This was just as I started figuring out how to monetize. And I never thought I was going to have a store. I was just going to sell the biker gripper. And then it went from there. But yeah, that's one way. That's a whole physical products business. So make sure you know what you're getting into there.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
There's some infrastructure there, definitely. Yeah. And there's a grind to it. I think I've been doing it for about 6 months, and I could tell you there's a bit of a grind to it. But Rick ran our store for years, and Rick would tell you there's a real grind to it. I mean, talk about feeding the beast. Those orders come in every day.
Yep.
And you have to fulfill them.
Orders. Order from companies, your distributors, distributorships, and being allowed to be a distributor. Emails. Yeah. It's an infrastructure. It's a store.
There's a lot to it. And depending on how big you want to grow, there's certain things you need to have. It's crazy that in today where so much stuff is online, there are distributors that still require you to have brick and mortar. One of the things that we did with the store, just continuing on with that, is we were online for years. We now have a physical storefront, and that's going to allow us to expand what we were carrying. But there's cost there. We either have to lease a building, which you start looking at the prices of what it costs to lease a space.
We did for our first 7 years of the store.
We weren't in a spot where we could. Luckily, while the economy was good when we had a previous president, and a little bit of COVID helped too. Money was getting blown into the economy and people were spending it. But we were able to squirrel some money away and put a good down on a building that got us into a position. And we look for specific things in that building. We've done episodes on it in the past. If you're really curious, you can go back and listen to those. But we wanted a space where we could have not just us, but another tenant. So we found a place in Union Gap that we can have a tenant, and we have our space, and we were able to put down a decent amount of money to get our rent down to a reasonable amount. So there's if you're going to move into that space, just think about it that if you're going to get a physical storefront, there's a lot to it. But the store is one of those things that over time has really helped us sustain this business and this media company and keep it going.
Yep. And speaking of the store, I have a lot of products that I really like in the store. We like all of them, and we said we vet them. This is one of my favorites, and I'm going to be using it again this year, and that is our beloved Rick Rack detachable luggage system for your motorcycle. Yep. Rick Rack has just what you're looking for, guys. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage systems. This father-son team designed something really special you can't find anywhere else. And I told you guys earlier, we've teamed ourselves with specific companies. This is one of our sponsors. We also sell their stuff because we believe in them, and they're actual bikers, guys. The real deal. Yep. They do ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers, which is important for us. All right. The Rick Rack Quick Detach system is strong, durable, and secureable with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your Quick Detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Head over to the Law-Abiding Biker store, which is exactly what we're talking about, and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. Carry on.
So that's actually turned out to be, the store has been a good source of income for us, but there is a lot of work to it as well. So if you're
employees, you got to think about and work, and everything a business requires. Yeah. There's
a lot of cost involved. In the end, if you make anywhere from 4 to 7% profit when everything's said and done, you're doing well. So that's a lot of work for a
physical products business is not the best business to get into. It's this, It is and it isn't, but yes, a lot of people don't know that. You tend to want to move bulk, and anyways, speaking of, before you move on from there, And that's exactly what I was talking about. How did I do that, guys? How did I do that? Well, Lurch already said it up front. It's because I'm a full-time police officer. I wasn't feeding my family with this. I was feeding my family, and I still am with my police job. That allowed me to take, for so many years, every penny that the business brought in and buy this and buy more product and stock this and shelves and everything else, the studio and the equipment and cameras and mixers, everything went back in the business, knowing
Air pillow machine and air pillows.
Yes, exactly. Feeding it back into the business, knowing my long-term goal to retire law enforcement and do this full time. So now we're in a position within the next couple of years that I hopefully can do that. But that's how we did that. So understand that doesn't come easy. If you got a full-time job, a lot of people I think quit too early. And I've seen some YouTubers do it. I'm like, that was dumb. Good luck with that.
Well, I think that it's tough for many YouTubers not to, because I don't know how many people have the drive that you have. I mean, you legitimately work 2 full-time jobs.
Right.
You got, and probably more than that technically if you look at the hours, but you get your full-time law enforcement job and you got this full-time law-abiding biker job. And I don't know how many people can keep that up for 10 years before they jump in and retire. Thank God we're close. We got a couple of years.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel finally.
I can tell you 2 years goes fast.
Yeah. 1 year just went fast. Yeah.
My last 2 years of my career went insanely fast. So, but anyways, there are a lot of ways that you can monetize, not just AdSense. You've mentioned a lot of them, sponsors. We go through a company called Libsyn to host our podcast. They've got auto ads that you can run within your podcast.
Now they do. A lot of the stuff has transpired.
The last year or so, they did that. It's almost like an AdSense. It's like a YouTube AdSense. They run ads against your podcast.
Speaking of, can I jump in there real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of our favorite comments when I put out because our documentary films get a shitload of views on YouTube. Yeah. And it's so funny when guys go, good documentary, but why'd you put so many commercials in it? And we just laugh. People literally
It's actually a good thing for us because that means it's a popular video.
Yes. If you're out there under the impression that we place the ads in the videos, we do not. You either turn monetization. There is some customization, but you're either going to monetize or you're not. And YouTube is deciding where and when to place those ads. So it's always funny. And here's the other thing I want to say, Lurch. And I've told you this before. And we don't argue with people. And again, assumption is the mother of all F-ups, right? I've already told you that. And so many people assume that you're some big YouTube star and you're rich. But I always want to ask those people, and we don't, because we don't argue. We're not, we're much more emotionally intelligent than that. But I always, in my mind, I'm like, I want to email them or comment back and go, last time you watched a Discovery show, did you email Discovery and ask why there's so many commercials, you moron? You know what I mean? Like, why have people become so entitled on YouTube that they think that they shouldn't have commercials? Welcome to frickin' welcome to 1940. My God.
Here's what I would say is that depending on the channel, whether they've monetized their channel or whether or not they're popular videos, they may be watching videos that don't have very many ads in it. It's not consistent. Whereas like TV, cable dish or whatever,
7 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, exactly. They're accustomed to it there. They're not necessarily accustomed to it online.
No, I think they think they have a right.
Yeah. It's how it started. It started out with really no commercials.
I think a lot of people think on YouTube they have a right, because on Discovery you can't email, you can't comment to the creator.
True. Okay.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
So people unfortunately have become that they think it's a God-given right that they get free videos on YouTube. And by God, if you sell a documentary, oh my God, because you are rich and you're making AdSense, and they have direct access to the creator via comments. So unfortunately, people they think they have an entitled right to say what they want on YouTube. And again, if you email Discovery that, it would never go anywhere, and they would just be, they'd be like, F off, and they would, and we don't respond to them either. So just understand. Oh, here's the other thing too, Lurch. If you guys didn't know, there's YouTube. What is it called now? YouTube Premium.
Yes. So I tried that for a while.
Yeah. So Lurch tried it. It's a great experience.
If you use it quite a bit.
Right. And so here's what I'll say about YouTube Premium. If you want to really support your creators, number one, become a patron of ours. That's huge, because patrons really good about not taking that much, considering what they offer. They really are, into the creator, unlike YouTube. Patreon actually gives two shits about the creators because they were creators that started that company and they realized what YouTube was doing to people. And so they started their own program to monetize creators so they could continue to do what they do. But at YouTube Premium, we get AdSense off the commercials. But if you get YouTube Premium, you get no commercials on your YouTube videos. And what a wonderful experience that is. But your subscription fee is paying the creator more per view than the advertisement. So you're actually helping support even more the creators that you love by becoming premium. So anyways, there, see all the tangents I can get off on? Move on.
Oh, you're done?
That's all I wanted to say about premium.
Okay. And then probably one of the things that we've used to monetize this business that has turned out to be one of the coolest things is Patreon.
Yep.
Patreon is, if you're not aware,
and I just talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
if
good.
you're not aware of Patreon, it is a platform where you can go in and create. You can
it's crowd. Yeah.
You can support creators per piece of content or a monthly fee, depending on how it's set up. And that has become such a cool group. One of the benefits we have of that is our patron-only Facebook group. And that has turned into something that I guess I didn't envision when we first started.
Me neither.
I envisioned it as a place for us to communicate with the patrons and provide them with information. And obviously we do that. But it's become a group, and a lot of these guys and gals have formed friendships, and they do what they call the unsanctioned meetups. We try to do a sanctioned one every summer, but they're getting together and writing, and it's become a community that has kind of outgrown my wildest dreams. It's really cool. And so that is one way, another way that a creator can find a source of income, Patreon, or there's other companies like that where you can be supported.
Yep.
OnlyFans, you can go on and sell pictures of your toes, whatever you want to do.
Right. You can, you can do your ASMR and people will pay in shit or whatever. It's weird place. I would suggest Patreon, but yeah.
Patreon's good.
It's an amazing community. Just know that, creators built that and they still do a really good job at, making it about the creator over there so they can continue their art or creation or whatever you love about them. So, yeah.
And then we get donations from people that either on YouTube can give us what I think they call it a super thanks.
Yeah.
We have you can go to lawabidingbiker.com/donate, and you can donate there. We get now that I'm running the store, I'm surprised how many people are putting tips on their orders. And
That's
so when I'm
amazing.
processing orders, I put those up. So just to thank some of the donations that we've had recently. We'd like to thank Gary Menzer of Reno, Nevada, John Reitzman of Madison, West Virginia, and Matthew Scott of Grovetown, Georgia.
And then Gerald Machurik of Pembroke Pines, Florida, Mark Donnelly of Lakeland, Florida, and Timothy Allen of Louisville, Kentucky. Lawabidingbiker.com/donate helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
To keep this thing running on down the road.
All right, let's finish it up here. The other thing I want to say, another way to monetize we talked about a little bit is, we don't just do videos for product, unless it's Harley Davidson sending me a motorcycle or Indian. Obviously, those are big companies. I need to get that information out to you guys. But, sending me a pair of jeans or sending me this, there has to be something. I'm not just going to review your product for AdSense views. We don't do that. And we're a big enough channel. We don't need to do that. And early on, even though I wanted to do that, I didn't. I turned companies away and I tried to turn it into sponsorships. I was like, we did do a few.
Sure.
But anyways, there's got to be something that I'm going to get back aside from AdSense. And that comes in the form of affiliate links. And basically, obviously, Revzilla, JP Cycles, Komodo Holdings, all that will send me pretty much anything I want. And so I get the gear for free, but I get an affiliate link. So I basically can, anybody that clicks through my link, if they like my recommendation, we get a small commission, but it's small. But it's better than just AdSense. It's a little bit more money into my, into my video production time. And again, I feel like it's useful information because people want to learn about the gear that I recommend. And if I have something bad to say about something. So better yet is I try to find gear that we can sell in our store because margins go up, right? Because now we're selling it direct as a reseller. And so your profitability goes up. So, but we can't carry everything. And so I do still do, I have got a lot of gear right now that I need to get videos out on. And I've tested it long-term, like over a year. So I feel and it's still good gear and still for sale. So I feel like those are good. And I enjoy those videos. And I have always enjoyed, what's the first thing you do when you want a new, $800 climb?
Jump on YouTube and
jump
look
on
at reviews.
YouTube. Exactly.
Yep.
So I feel like those videos are very helpful. And like I said in the beginning, I don't pigeonhole myself. We're a very diverse channel. We do everything from motorcycle reviews to gear reviews to podcasts to vlogs to documentary films to news events. So we have always been very, very diverse and kept it that way for, well, a lot of the aforementioned reasons is, being able to expand and keep going after 11 years. So that's another way, obviously, through affiliate marketing and affiliate links. What else, Lurch?
I think that's about it.
Is that all the fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's, sponsors and the store and Patreon and donations. And I think that's it. I think that's what we've learned, and we're continuing. We don't stop. Like Lurch said, we're continuing to expand the store and look forward to big things in 2024, guys, coming, because we're going to keep adding products, and we're hopefully working on a different distributorship and some different things there, which will give us access to more products for you guys. And again, if you didn't know, it's not rocket science. Everybody thinks Amazon, I can get it Prime, and you know what? You can get it the same. We all have access to the same shipping. We can get it just as fast. And you're not getting it from some of that stuff from an ambiguous seller on Amazon, and Amazon's taking that cut. That's why we got off Amazon. They're kind of like YouTube. They're making the money, not the sellers. You got to sell bulk on Amazon to make anything. So we sell it directly in our store, but we can ship it out so quick to you guys and get it to you. And you know who it's coming from. And there's going to be support there if you need support of actual bikers talking to you, emailing you back, and the faces behind the store. So that was a long episode, and we probably could have split that in two, but hey, whatever. We hope that was a lot of inside information and here's what I hope. I hope that you were able to take away any preconceived, and I want to thank Steve again. And if you have any follow-up, Steve, hit us up. We appreciate it. We respect you for leaving that message, because I'm sure you're not the only one if you asked the question or made the comment that others are thinking. But we hope that you were able to put yourself in our shoes, in my shoes, for at least this episode. And I hope that you learned some things, not just Steve, everybody, that said, I did think YouTube was paying these guys big money, or I thought this. I thought that Harley was paying him to go down. I didn't realize he's spending his own money to do that. I hope we're always open and transparent here. I would tell you if Harley was paying, I'd be the first person. I've always done it in my videos. I'll tell you it. Revzilla sent me this, no strings attached. I appreciate him sending me. I don't try to hide things. I want people to know, and I tell you, I don't even have to. A lot of the YouTubers don't do that. They don't even tell you Harley took them there. They just show up at the 120th. Okay, I don't think that's good practice, but that's just me. I always want to be open and my honest, and if I do get a free flight and a free meal, I'm going to tell you, Harley flew me down here.
Yeah, and it's not a brag on your part. You just want to be clear and open, and
because of Steve, right? And people that may think, whether you like me for it or not, at least I'm honest, and that goes a long ways to me. That I didn't try to hide that Harley flew me down there. I would tell you if they paid me. I would tell you, if they gave me any other huge benefits. I have got a few free Harley shirts. I will tell you that while I'm down there. Sometimes they give me a free Harley shirt. But other than that, guys, I hope it was entertaining, and I hope it was informational. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was
infotaining.
There you go, guys. And give you a deep dive into what it's really like to be a podcaster and a YouTuber of 11 years. I hope you guys are well. I hope you're out there getting some freaking riding in. And we're going to see what 2024 brings, because I'm sure we're going to be doing some more Harley stuff and hopefully some more Indian stuff. I'm actually going to be doing an episode after this. We're going to be recording on the new 2024 Indians. We're going to take a look into those and see what they have to offer. And so that episode should be coming out. Don't forget, guys, if you're a patron member, we've already talked about it. It's one of the most important things to us as our beloved patron members. You're going to get this podcast well before everybody else and the next podcast, because whenever we record a podcast, within days, we immediately upload it into the back end of your patron accounts. And obviously, if you're mid-level or above, that's going to be unlocked for you. And it's raw. It's not quite as edited, but it's still, all the information is there. And you get to listen to it well before it comes out on any of the free podcast platforms where everybody else listens. So that's just another benefit that you can get. So don't forget, get that Patreon app on your phone and check in at what posts we've posted. And again, what's unlocked for you, because everybody else can go there and it's obviously got a lock on it unless you're mid-level or above Patreon members. So thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks, Lurch, I did most of the talking, but thanks for listening to my boring ass for an hour and whatever,
My pleasure,
45 minutes. Yeah. Appreciate your input. So we're out of here, guys. Peace.